introduction to what I like to do. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. Today, like the title says, without further ado, we'll be jumping right into the video. So today, like the title says, I'll be talking about a story time. Yeah, this is a story time. Yeah. So this is a story time of how a pastor molested me. Yeah. Well, I'll first say you should please ignore the background voice, ignore the background sounds, because to be honest, I really can't help the background sounds. So I'll just try as much as possible to be audible so you can hear what I'm trying to pass. Yeah. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Yeah. So there is this pastor. I'll be calling names. Yeah, I'll be calling names. So there's this pastor, Papa D. He used to be our youth pastor in church way back, and I think I've known this pastor since 2015. Yeah, I guess since 2015. Yeah, I know this. I met this pastor in 2015. That's like that's 9 years. Yeah, I met him in 2015, 2016ish. So we used to go to a camp. Our church has a camp, like I think there's annual, there's biennial camp like that. So he comes for the camps. So that's where he flourishes as the youth pastor. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we met at the camp, and I don't think he even noticed me. Yeah, no. I just think, out of the crowd, he wouldn't have noticed me, so he did not notice me or something like that. But, those days now, how you will be in camp and you are going to post and, things like that. So, on Facebook, bear in mind, there is this guy that I liked. Yeah. There is this guy that I liked, and, we were talking a lot. That we actually met at the camp, at the youth camp, stuff like that. So we met, and we got talking as friends. Yeah, we're just talking as friends. So he had a best friend. He still has he has a best friend that they're like twins, because initially I even thought they were twins, but that's not even the point of this whole video. So we got talking, in the camp. You know how you make camp exciting and all of that, and after camp, everybody has forgotten whatever happened in camp. Sorry, we've forgotten that we used to go and buy food and, all of that stuff. Yeah. After camp on Facebook was where all of this started happening. So after camp on Facebook, I think it came to camp in 2015, it came to camp in 2016. So after camp on Facebook, sometime in 2017, yeah, in 2017, because the camp shares vests. I don't know if they still do that right now. I don't know if they do that, but our camp, they will share a vest, and to be honest, way back at 2017 or something, well, you will post this kind of things. So I posted it on Facebook, and mutual friends and all of that, and it got my, what's it called? We got talking. Yeah, let me just put it that way. We got talking, and it was out of this respect. Sir, Papa D, yeah, yes, sir, God bless you, sir, this is and that. And that was like what we were talking about, until one day, sometime in 2017, yeah, I guess, yeah, 2017, early 2017, it was like, it's at the junction, not junction, it's like at the nearest bus stop to my place, because my dad is quite popular, because my dad is also a pastor. Yeah. So I think everybody just knew me as the pastor's kid, the preacher's kid, and all of that. So it was like, the junction it was just like a stone throw to our house. So it was like, is at the junction of this place, I should come and meet him. And I was like, why? Do you get? I was like, why should I come and meet you and stuff like that? To be honest, as at this point, I had not opened up to anybody. I did not tell any, because I did not see any reason to tell anybody what was going on, because like I said, we only just talked about how was camp, do you enjoy camp, this and that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. That was what we talked about. So, you know, from talking about that to now coming to say, come to the bus stop of your house, it felt off to me. So, you know, I just read that message and I did not reply. I did not reply the message, and I think 2 days later I was like, I'm sorry, sir, I was busy, I was watching plate, I was doing that. I just cooked up a lie, an excuse. Then August is when we go for the camp. So August that year, we went for the camp as usual. As per usual, we went for the camp. I don't know if I'm being audible enough to be able to suppress. Well, I hope. So we went for the camp as per usual, and he saw me in camp, and that was where the attitude started. And bear in mind, there's this chairperson, she's a woman. There's this chairperson, I did not know what they discussed together. And then there is this other girl. She's like the president, the youth thing president in my church. Yeah. So she's like the president in my church. So I don't know. Because of that guy, I mentioned the guy that I got talking with in the camp in 2015. Yeah. Because of that guy, I don't know if she liked the guy or something like that. She started giving me attitude in church. Yeah. She started giving me attitude in church that led up to the camp. She really doesn't talk to me in church. Yeah. She did not talk to me. She did not care and stuff like that. So, yeah. We got to camp, and you know, my friend from the former camp now, we got talking again in camp, and then they started paying more attention to me. That was when they would say I should kneel down and crawl on my knees and walk from one place to one place. You know how those crawling on your knees to walk at length? Like I would be on my knees walking for like 10 minutes. And that like made me have problem with my leg and all of that. But that was because that youth president had reported me to that chairperson, and that was why she was doing that. So the chairperson, whatever is happening to my leg today, that chairperson is a cause of it. So the chairperson made me do that, and you know, that person now saw me and he was like, Divine. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, me, that is sure I'm dating the guy, because when he wants to talk to me, and I was like, that is supposed to be embarrassing to talk about, that you want to see me. So you know all these women now, the woman just looked, she just shrugged it off like maybe it was nothing, maybe you wanted to see me as a father, prayer and all of that. And you know, when he ministers when he ministers, people will be falling, people, and you know that time now. So I really did not have any reason to doubt him, because I felt like if it wasn't really, people should not be falling that much, people should not be confessing, people should not be doing this. You get that kind of thing now. So yeah, that ended in camp. You see where this started from. I gained admission in 2018. Yeah, I gained admission in 2018 after waiting at home and all of that. 2018, when I gained admission, I did not tell anybody that I was leaving, you know. So I left, and you know, maybe when they did not see me in school, in church, they were like, where is she? And they eventually found out. Even that youth president that I used to be close to, I did not tell her anything, just because I did not want to tell her. So I did not tell anybody anything. So I resumed school on the 19th of September 2018, and somehow there was strike towards the end of October. So I was still in school, like maybe there was some call of the strike, maybe it was a 1 week or 2 week strike. I think that strike ended up being for months, because I think we resumed back the following year. Yeah, we resumed back the following year. Boom. Yeah. Fast forward to November 1st, I was still at home. It's funny how next month is going to make this thing, how many years now? I don't know, maybe 7, 8, I don't know. It's going to make it some kind of year, I don't know. But yeah, November 1st, it was very, very unusual, because immediately I wake up. Normally I would pray, before I start my day and all of that. But that morning I just woke up, and the first thing I reached for was my phone. As at the time, I was using 2 phones. I was using one Android phone and one Nokia 3310. That was when that phone was raining. So yeah, I was using that Nokia 3310 and that Android phone. So, and that Nokia 3310 was given to me by that friend from the beginning. That friend, yeah, it was given to me by him. So I think there was no light or something, so my SIM was inside that small phone, so I could not charge my Android and all of that. So immediately I just woke up. I just checked the time. The time was 6:27 a.m. It's funny how I still remember all this detail. So the time was 6:27 a.m. in the morning, and when I checked the time, it was, I was supposed to go back into praying, and I had a roommate. Then. So I was supposed to go back into praying and all of that, but I saw a missed call. I saw that I had missed a call. So I was like, who could that be? So I called the person back, because I did not have the number. So I was like, okay, let me quickly call this person back before, I start my day and all of that. So I called the person back, and guess who? Yeah, it was Papa D. So it was Papa D, and I called him, and he was like, me, they said I am now in so school. And I'm like, how? Who? And the only person that was coming to my head was that youth president, to be honest. Because he said it was somebody from my church that I know that told him, and it could only be her that told him. So it was like, they said I was in so school, and he came here for administration and is about to go. So he has a word or two for me. Can I come to so place? And I'm like, okay, that's not even far from my house. That was the mistake I made, because if I did not go and see him when I had not gained admission, then why should I have gone to see him now? But okay, I went. I went to the bus stop. It was just like it was at the bus stop of my house, coincidentally, because there was another street across my street. So that was where it was. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I went there. I told my friend, and my friend was like, immediately I picked that call, my countenance changed, because she was the one that saw. I did not know that my countenance had changed. So my countenance changed, and I went there. I went to see him, and I started giving his prophecies that I have a roommate that she can come, and I was like, can you come and pray for the person? And I was like, okay. I can't remember if I had called her to tell her that he was coming, or I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest. But we ended up in my house. And he prayed for my roommate. He did the usual deliverance thing and all of that. And after, and that one was like, okay, she's going to meet one of our other friends in school area. So when I'm ready, I can come. And I was like, okay, no problem. That was how this girl left me with this monster. So she left me with him, and he started giving these fake prophecies. To be honest, that was when I knew that this man was spitting trash. He started giving fake prophecies that, okay, I have a boyfriend, of which I know it is that guy he was referring to, but I was like, it cannot be him. Do you get? Because I know we were not dating. We did not have anything. This person even has a girlfriend. As at the time, a very serious relationship. So I just felt like, okay, it could not be him, because it was even open about that his relationship. So I was like, okay, they cannot be talking about this person that all of us know that he has a girlfriend. I don't do that. So it was like, I have a boyfriend that had slept with me as of the time, and by that he said because the boyfriend had slept with me, they had collected something from me. They had collected something from me, and I need to sleep with a pastor so that that can be washed away. You know, so that it can be, I don't know how to put it, but in Yoruba, I don't know, for people that understand Yoruba, he said, I don't want to speak Yoruba, but I'm sorry, I have to translate this in Yoruba. He said, wọ́n ti bá ẹ sùn, tọ́lẹ̀ ti gba nǹkan lára ẹ, ó dẹ̀ nílò ìbálòpọ̀ pẹ̀lú wòlíì láti yọ nǹkan tó gbà lára ẹ. That was what he said. If you don't understand Yoruba, God bless your heart. But I don't know how I could have translated that in English for you to understand, other than saying that he said that someone has slept with me, that had collected something from me, and I need to sleep with a pastor for that thing to be removed. And he started citing examples of people that he had given that kind of prophecies, and they thought he wanted to sleep with them. And one woman now later went to go and sleep with another pastor, and guess what? Now she's outside the country, she's not in the country, and all of that. And he started citing examples. Bear in mind that Papa D got married July 7 or 27, I can't remember. I just know it has a 7. Is it that 7, 27 or 17? He got married that same year, that 2018. And this is happening in November 1st. So then it was like, he has a wife. If what he needs is the coitus, he's going to go and meet his wife. But he just feels like, I'm such a special child, he needs to help me, this, and that. He started spitting the usual trash. And as of that time, my mind was blank, because for a fact, I know that prophecy was fake. But there was this strong hold, like, to believe him that it was real. At that point, I started doubting myself that maybe something had happened that I did not know. Maybe true. Maybe it was in the dream. You get that kind of thing. So, he now started, and that was how this guy started forcing himself on me. I still have scars on my chest from that day. I still have scars on my chest, my torn skirts, my torn shirts too. I eventually trashed them when I graduated, because I kept those clothes. I don't know why I kept it. I really don't know why I kept it. But I kept those clothes, and I eventually trashed them in 2022. So, yeah. And it was, that was how, I don't know where that strength came from. And I was like, see, if you are not going to use Bible to pray this prayer, I'm not praying. That was what I brought. I had one big Bible then, child of a preacher. I brought out the Bible was as big as this, very heavy. So I was like, if you're not going to use Bible to pray, please, I'm not praying again. That was why I changed this for him. So then he used Bible, and he was like, he has to remove this thing from my life. It is a must. And I was like, why is it unusually, my compound is usually bustling with noise. People are usually at home, but for whatever reason that day, there was nobody at home. There was nobody in the house, and there was no way, like, even if I want to shout for help, there was no way, nobody was going to hear me or something like that. Like, it was very, very unusual, because there's never a time you come to my compound and at least one person will be at home. But that day, there was nobody in the house. I was the only one. Even the grandma that used to sell something in our front, that has a shop, she closed that shop that day. Very unusual. So I did not know that there was nobody in the whole compound. So that was how, I don't know where this thing came from. I just started I don't know where the strength came from, I just started crying. I started screaming. When it actually dawns on you that, and I started crying, screaming, and all of that. Then it was like, this one that I'm doing, that's what he does not like. I should not cry. I'm like a child to him. I should not cry. No. It's fine, this and that. And that was how I was able to get him over me without doing anything. He tried. To be honest, there were bruises. He tried. I just cannot open my body. But there were bruises. And, as at this point, I think my friend was already expecting me to come back home, to come back to them in school area for the reading that we had to do. And I think she already called my mom or something like that. That this and this and this is what happened. My mom already called my dad. Everybody already knew about it at home. So this was going on and I did not know. I think maybe my phone went off at some point. I didn't even know. I can't remember. So we got to... So when he saw that I was crying, I was like, okay, I should wear my clothes. I should leave, this and that. So I was like, okay. Because even me, I could not stay in the room again. So I just stepped out. And there's the school at the back of my house. And that back is where you pass out. So I sat at the basement of the school and he came to meet me there. And that was the point I wished that phone had memory card, because I feel like I would guard that memory card with my life if I had recorded his voice. He said, thank God. At first I was like, he did not know I was this strong. Then he said, thank God I did not give in to him, because it would have just been a waste, because we will need... There's this tiny seed. Is it mustard seed? Or there's this tiny seed that he mentioned. It will need that seed. It will need candle. It will need coconut oil. He mentioned things that I was going to need, and we did not have that at the moment, so the prayer wouldn't have been answered. And I was like, bear in mind, as at this point, anything he said, I was just like, yes. Since, I did not know I was able to even win the fight of that struggle safe. Because since then, anything he said, I was just like, okay. I was just following him around. I was like, okay. So I went to the bus stop to go and enter, what's it called? Shuttle to my friend. Only for me to realize that the shuttle boys, the shuttle drivers, they know him. Because apparently he graduated from that school and he used to be in cults. He said it himself. He used to be in cult, and in my presence, this man drank a sachet of Chelsea. I don't know if you know Chelsea, but there's this dry gin, alcoholic drink, a sachet of Chelsea. Yeah, he drank the sachet of Chelsea. That was when I should have known that, start running for your life. But as at then, I was just like... I was just following him. It was on a Saturday, because there was party in my junction. There was party and there was traffic. So I can still remember following him all through the traffic. Then we went to my church. The church that I was going to, is the same church from home. It's just like attending church from home and, branch in school and all of that. Yeah. So it's the same church. And I went to church and I was greeting the pastor there, and they knew me, and I just became scared of going to church. So when on my way back, I was still following him around. Bear in mind, since morning, this time it was around 5 or 4. Yeah, I was still following him around since 6:27. That was how this call came in. When I eventually looked at my phone, I saw missed calls, and my father started shouting. They started shouting, and that was how he left. I think they called him too, and that was how, somehow, I do not even know how he disappeared. He left, and I was alone on the road in traffic. To be honest, I'm still remembering how I stood in traffic. I could have gotten hit, because it had not even still left me. I was just there in traffic. I was just looking. I'm trying to react the way I was looking. I was just looking, and somehow, I don't know how I got home. maybe I think it was my roommates that came to like pick me, because there was a search party already going on for me, because I could never talk. I could not say this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what is happening. I could not talk. So I think somehow they found me and they brought me, and I don't know, maybe it was after I beat itself that everything came down. I was not able to like, okay, pick this up, that okay, this is what happened. That was when I started talking that this was what happened. And you know, there were questions that, are you sure nothing happened? This one that you're not even remembering, are you sure nothing happened? I was like, nothing happened. That one, I can still remember everything that happened up until when we stepped out and we were in front of that school pavement and we were talking. Since then, that was when I did not remember. Like, that was when like I started following him gullibly, and you know, that was how that phase ended. And that was how, you know, people now started coming out to say how he SA'd a lady in camp, that camp that we used to go to. That was what he usually does, like after his ministration, sometimes in his room. People now started coming out, you know, to call him out and all of that. And to be honest, he affected me in ways that I feel like almost all through my uni days, I hated men. Like, you cannot. I was a guy too. I started being a bro. You get what I'm saying? I started being a bro, and I stopped going to church. I stopped going to church because I was like, what if he comes to church? Because he knows my pastor. So what if he comes to church? So I stopped going to church since 100 level, and you just rather see me attending online service. Or then later I now joined another church, and I was going to another church. And this just goes to say that there are wolves in sheep clothing, more than you can think. There are wolves in sheep clothing, and this does not mean that the actual sheep are not many. It's just that the wolves that are, you know, more than the sheep. And we should be careful. I was listening to something that says the first mistake you make in contributing to your church earth is believing that your pastor is not human. You idealize him. You know, when you start thinking, he's the pastor, he can't make any mistake. I'm not justifying that what he did was right. Well, I just felt like Kosimbi. I just felt like he wouldn't have done something like that. Like up until maybe 300 or 400 levels, I was still like, you get, I feel idolizing pastors is part of what causes it. You know, pastors are humans too. They can fall too. I'm not trying to justify what it says, but expecting too much from people is the beginning of your hurts. Never expect too much from people, and I'm over it now. I've moved way past it. And just to add, me and those my friends, we fell out. Yeah, we fell out because apparently they think there can be no such thing as an attempted rape. Yeah, there can be no such thing as an attempted rape. It is either rape or nothing. So yeah, that was how we ended up falling out. And then the stigma was now there, like it actually happened, when in the real sense it did not happen. Like it was now like between me and my family that actually now knew that, because we had to run tests and all of that. It was now between us that we now knew that, okay, this thing did not happen. But outside it was like, well, it happened, so you get. So I think later I heard that it was a long back and forth, so I stopped going to the camp. And they even had one last month. I mean, was it last month or last month? August, sure. They had one, and I did not go. And this just goes to say, I don't know what it goes to say, but be careful. Be careful, and don't allow what one person do stop you from going to church. To be honest, there are pastors out there, you'll see. From what this pastor did, it was another pastor that healed me. There are pastors that preach the word, and there's nothing bad going on behind closed doors. So don't shut yourself from God. Pastors offended you. It is not God. turn back to God that will heal you completely and all of that. So yeah, I've come to the end of my story time. Yeah. So yeah, that was how my pastor assaulted me. Kindly let me know if you want to see more story time like this, because trust me, a lot has happened. So kindly let me know if you want to see more story time like this, and do also subscribe, like this. So we YouTube gonna Jesus Christ.